Thank you.
So, I'm going to go through how the money's made. Who likes to make money?
Yeah.
Who doesn't like to make money? How come some people don't put their hands up?
Little boys.
Little voice. Everybody's got a little voice in their head. So we do a lot of training on getting rid of the little voice. Because see, when you were younger, well, why do we not put our hands up in life? Because when we were at school, the teacher says, "What's 1 + 1?" And we go, "It's 3." And then everybody laughs at you and you go, "I'll never put my hand up again." Because that's what happens, right? We have a fear of public speaking. It's funny because before I joined this business, my biggest fear was public speaking. I used to get shaken. I was too busy trying to get it right. And yeah, and it's amazing how you can get rid of your fear when you get into a business like this. So this business has changed my life. So before I get into the how you can make the money, I'm going to just share a little bit of why USANA for me. So I wasn't always looking at this. I'm going to show you some photos in a minute, what I looked like before I joined, so you can get that there's actually massive transformation in this business. And when you see my photo, you'll see there was massive transformation. Right? Does everybody understand my funny accent? Aye. So I come from Scotland originally. I've lived in New Zealand for 21 years, Selandabaro, and my wife's Indonesian, and I've been living here since last November. But I've been coming here for the last 6 years, maybe about 1 to 2 months a year. And then we joined USANA in Auckland, New Zealand, and then we decided to come over here. But before that happened so my life was like, I was going through my life. I had a flooring company, and my wife had a wellness clinic. So she's running the wellness clinic, I'm running the flooring business. I've been doing flooring now for about 30 years. Flooring's a very physical, really insane job. My dad told me when I was younger, work hard, get a good job. Well, you can't get any harder than a flooring company. Then I was scraping floors and lifting carpets and carrying them and up and down stairs, and there was no elevator, so I had to carry them all the way up the stairs, moving people's furniture, lifting up the carpet and then helping put it all back down again. So, and all in a certain time. So that was quite intense. So I've done that for 30 years. So it created a big work ethic for me because I was crazy enough to do that. I could do anything, right? So as I was doing that, my health started to deteriorate. I ended up with joints, problems, pain, and sometimes you can get a little bit stressed. And so I drank a few beers now and again, stuff like that, right? So I ended up gaining quite a lot of weight. I got to 110 kgs at one point. Yeah. So when I joined USANA, I was running about 100, 103. So here's my lovely wife, Regina, right? So we've been building USANA business for a while, but before we done that, the reason why we joined USANA in the first place was she went to the hospital and she got diagnosed with step 3 cervical cancer. So that was obviously quite a heavy thing, right? You get told that, it's a lot of stress. So they were going to operate, and they turned around and says, "Look, when was the last time you had a period?" She says, "Well, I'm actually a little bit late." So that she found out she was pregnant. Right? So they says, "Well, we can't operate, so you're going to have the baby, continue with the pregnancy, and we can sort that later." So we continued with the pregnancy. 3 months later, she went for a scan, right? And then when they done the numbers, they done a blood test, they done a scan, the baby was meant to be here on the graph, but the baby was here. So obviously, she's already dealing with the cancer, and now she's getting told the baby's not growing. So that's pretty stressful. So she says to me, "Look, can you please get me some supplements?" And my friend was in USANA, so what I done is I contacted my friend. I got the supplements. It's called the Essentials, the ones that Robin was talking about, right? And I gave her the product. So within 2 weeks, the baby started growing. Within 4 weeks, the baby was back to where it was meant to be. And all we done was give her the nutrition. So, do you think her belief in the product was high? Yeah, we just got this phenomenal result. So, a couple of months, 2-3 months later, we get invited to see a presentation, just what you're seeing tonight. Now, so I'm getting asked to come and see a presentation about a business. Now, I've got a flooring company, I've got a wellness clinic, I've got a baby on the way, and I've got a hormonal wife. Do you think I'm looking for another business? Right. So So obviously she's getting emotional because all this stuff is happening. But the thing is, with me, this guy kept pestering me, kept pushing me, says, look, you need to come and see this. And this guy's a Chinese businessman, his name is James Liu. And he kept pushing, my wife's going, let's just go see the presentation just to get him off her back. So I went and seen the presentation. So he took me to this gentleman's house, Chinese businessman. Yeah, there seems to be a theme here with Chinese businessmen. But this happened to be the #1 income earner in the whole world. His name's Bill Wang. So I get invited into this man's house, and I seen the presentation. I already believed in the products. And when I seen the presentation, I looked at it and I thought to myself, what if this works for me? And then I looked at it and I says, there was something that was really passionate with me. See, I've got a 26-year-old daughter and a 22-year-old son. Right? But I never seen them growing up because I was always working. So then I thought to myself, I've just got a baby just about to be due. Right? There's a baby coming. I'm still in this flooring company that's stressing my body out. We're running a wellness clinic. We'll get staff, bills. This is not working. I'm making all this money, but I'm always paying it on overheads because I've always got all these overheads. So I thought to myself, well, if we can build this part-time alongside what we're doing, part-time, I've already got 2 companies and a baby, and I'm thinking, all right, this could work for me. So do you ever notice when you want something done, you give it to somebody who's busy? But if you give something to somebody who's got heaps of time, they'll not do anything. So I was already busy, and then I decided, well, if I don't do something more, I'm always going to be trapped in this business. And then I'm not going to get to see this baby grow up. So we decided to join the business. So fast forward another few months, the baby was born. She was amazing, healthy baby. My wife went, about a month later, she went back for a test to check for the step 3 cancer. And the result came in was it went from step 3 to 0 in 8 months. So that was like phenomenal for me. Baby born, wife healthy. And then because our belief was so high, Regina then got inspired by the products. So we started building the business together. So fast forward, within 2.5 years, part-time building the business, we replaced our income in our businesses. We closed our businesses down and came to Indonesia. Now, the great thing about coming here is there's 270 million people in this country, right? So this is the #1 supplement company in the whole world, right? This is one of the highest dense population countries in the world, yes? It's also one of the wealthiest countries in the world, yes? But it's also one of the sickest countries in the world. Now, we're not saying that to be rude, but I love the place. The diet sucks, right? You can't get great nutrition from nasi goreng. So nasi goreng, I call it nasty goreng. Yeah? Not to insult people because it's a national dish. It's just that it's full of fibre and starch. There's no antioxidants in it. So what happens when you eat rice? It damages your body, it creates inflammation, and that's what causes probably 95% of the degenerative disease. So our products are designed to reduce inflammation. But if you go to the doctor, what happens? They give you a drug that makes your blood thinner, but it doesn't actually solve the problem. So from a logical point of view, it doesn't work. So we came here because we know that people need to be educated, and that's why Raman done such an amazing job. Education, it starts with awareness, right? So if we can teach people here about their health, that's going to benefit them, their family, their cousins. They can actually help each other. Now, do you know that the rate of cancer in this country is like people at 30 years of age are getting cancer? Where other places it's like 50 years. Because the pollution. Yeah? So from a business, so my health point of view, this needs to be going through this country. Every country that your son is in becomes #1. We started in the Philippines 6 years ago, right? So we're a 23-year-old company, 24-year-old company, right? 6 years ago we started in the Philippines. Now, would you agree that the Philippines is very similar to Indonesia? From a diet point of view and from a social economical point of view, yeah? So they're now the 3rd largest market in Yasan. So if they're the 3rd largest market in Yasan, and the size of Indonesia, with the same kind of like food and all the rest of it, what do you think is going to happen here in the next few years? So from a business point of view, from a financial point of view, would you reckon the number one supplement company in the world coming into Indonesia would be a great opportunity right now?
Absolutely.
But see, the thing is, how many people go, oh, that would be good, I wish I'd done that in the past, I wish I'd done that in the past. And then we've got a ground floor opportunity with the number one supplement company in the world. So the timing is now. So that's why we're here. So now we're here changing people's lives, helping people free themselves up. Now, do you believe that a job is going to get you what you want? Right? Do you know what job means? J-O-B?
Yeah.
Just over broke. Jobs don't work. So we can spend 10 years, 20 years, whatever, learning new skills, upgrading to find out that we're still going to be a slave to somebody else. People are sick of being slaves, but we do it because we don't have another skill. So if you could learn another skill part-time, going alongside what you're already doing, you don't have to risk your security because you can still keep your job. But you can develop another skill set, right, and get trained for free to create freedom for yourself and your family. And that's what we're here to show you. So, you don't need to spend a fortune. So just before I go into that, how does that look? No cheeky comments towards me. I look like a hamster. Now look at this one. Does that look like somebody's enjoying his carpet installation business? Yeah? Now, I look 10 years younger. I'm a lot smaller. My wife's a lot happier. But that's what happens when we get stuck in the rat race. Just surviving, doing the same thing every day, and then hoping. Why would you get up in the morning and be excited if you're stuck in the same thing? Match it. All my life, match it for the next 30 years, you joking? Who wants to be in the match it for 30 years? 4 hours a day, 5 or something. How many people are stuck in traffic 1 hour a day? How many 2 hours a day? How many 3 hours a day?
4.
How many 4 hours a day? 5 hours? 6 hours? Do I hear 6? So I think about it, 5 hours? Think about it. You could do a degree in that space of time. Yeah? So the key is, right, have you ever heard the definition of insanity? Which is to do the same thing over and over and expect a different result. How many people here love to travel? No, you don't like to travel at the back? Put your hand down!
We are tired because we got traffic so much.
See, you took 2 hours to get here. You're late. We were waiting for you. You turned up at this time. What's all of it? I'm going to joke it.
We're always on the street.
So guess what that tells me about you? How committed are you to come anyway? Do you get that? How many people just got to stuff it on their home? You can. Even if you're only going to get 3 minutes, you can. But look, that's dedication, right? Because you're people who are hungry turn up. The people who go, they just go home, watch TV and go zombie. Who wants to do that, right? We just go, But the thing is, that's not a bad thing. Our job's to wake people up and actually help them not be a zombie. Right? It's not that it's bad to be zombie out. It's just because life becomes hopeless after a while. Because the people don't see a way out. And it doesn't have to be that way. We have a little voice in our head that talks to us and it tells us I'm not good enough. Other people can do it, but I can't. That's a lot of crap. Every human being is a giant. And then there's a little voice in your head saying, I'm not a giant. Now, who are you going to listen to? Yeah? It's possible for everybody. The first thing it starts with is hope. Yeah? And then when you take some action, that hope turns into certainty. Because then you go, that wasn't as hard as I thought it was. Yeah? So let me get into it and I'll show you a little bit of a different mindset shift so you can go from where you are to where you want to be. Now, everybody in here, they've come in here with a different mindset. Yeah? Some people just want to make another $100 a week. Somebody will be happy with $50 a week. Some people might want $500 a week. Some people might want to spend time with their children and they're sick of giving their children to a stranger. Some people might want to help their mum because she's worked her heart out the whole life to help you, but you can't help her back because you've not got enough money for yourself. There's so many different reasons why people will come and look at something like this. But the thing is, this will change your life if you open up and give it the chance that it needs, and give yourself a chance, because if you don't do something different, nothing's going to change. So let's have a look at this, right? So you could work a 9-to-5 desk job, because that's what most people are doing. This is an outdated model, right? Look at your parents. Is your parents still working? Grandparents might still be working, because people can't stop. There's no government assistance. If we do not take control of our destiny, we're gambling, hoping that somebody's got to take care of us. There's nobody going to take care of you as apart from yourselves. Yeah? So, if you want to settle for working for somebody else, then that's cool. But is that what you really want? Now, what do you reckon? When you were younger, did we dream? Right? The older you get, the less we dream, because we become more cynical. Yeah? Oh, what's the point? I don't want to disappoint myself. I'll build up my hopes and then it doesn't happen and then I'll be crushed again, so I'm going to stop dreaming. You can get what you want when you go after it. But you need the right vehicle. Right? You're at point A in your life right now, you want to get to point B. But if your job's not going to get you what you want, then you need to have another strategy. So an exit strategy would be a good idea. Now, how many people in here believe their job's going to get them what they want? Anybody? So we get that, right? So if we don't develop an exit strategy, well, and it might not be USANA, the key is it needs to be something. Because if we keep wasting time, we'll never get that time back again. So you need an exit strategy. So network marketing is booming. Why? Is what I said before. People are tired of being a slave. So they'll try some of these crazy schemes. How many times has people jumped into a money game, lost money, spent all that time, lost some friends, and then when that stuff doesn't work, then people think every company is the same? That's not the case. There is dodgy companies out there. But when you find the right one, things change. This company is built on integrity, right? And the reason why USANA is successful, if you open up your phone, right, and you look at the stock market and you look at how much USANA stocks worth, it's $148 a share in climate. GNC is $20 a share. Herbalife is $63 a share. Amway is $9 a share. USANA is $148 a share. Have you ever heard the expression that numbers don't lie? Yeah? So you can't be $148 a share and win in it. You know? So this man here, Paul Zane Pilsner, with direct selling, the headaches of traditional business ownership are virtually eliminated. When I seen that, think about it, I had 2 businesses, I had staff, I had overheads, I had leases, I had insurances, I had to pay the government money for the staff. I was just collecting taxes for the government, and I was a slave to my businesses. And then when I seen USANA, I thought, there's no overheads. If I make money in this, it's mine. It's my asset, and nobody can take it away from me. Because you're building your asset. Now, so if you're working in a job for the next 5 years, and you don't build something alongside it, whose asset are you building? What happens if they say you're fired, or we don't need you anymore, or we're restructuring? What happens? You have to start again, but you wasted 5 years and you still didn't have an asset. You might pay your bills for 5 years, but you want to build an asset, because an asset creates freedom for who? For you, right? When I see that, I thought, I'm not free. I'm a slave. And now you may go, oh, you come from that country. We're slaves there the same as you're a slave here. It doesn't mean because we're bullies and we're from there that we're no slaves. We're still slaves. We might make more money, but we have to spend a lot more money there. Our money's worth more when we bring it here. But it doesn't matter where you are in the world. Stuck is stuck. Yeah? So don't think the grass is greener on the other side. It's the same. So, have you watched, has anybody read Cash Flow for Rich Dad Poor Dad? You heard of Rich Dad Poor Dad?
Yes.
Yeah.
So look at this, right? Employee, have a job, trade your time for money, right? This is the formula. People trade their time and make money, right? You need 40 hours a week. Some people get tired of that and then they become self-employed. They own a job, yeah? You'd still trade your own time for money. You make a little bit more money, but what happens if you take a holiday? You don't get paid. What happens if the work changes? You don't get paid because you're fully responsible, right? So look at this, 95% of the population, right, gets 5% of the world's wealth. They work this side of the quadrant. But this requires your own hands or your own time. So who would be self-employed? Lawyer? A doctor? Gojek? Exactly. But you get, it requires the person's own time. Now, do you think a Gojek driver is less free than a doctor? He's probably freer because he can drive anywhere. Literally, I can drive here. But the thing is, a doctor can't, right? Because what happens if a doctor or a lawyer or somebody, or accountant or something, gives up their income? What happens to their lifestyle? So they might have a great lifestyle, but they're not as happy because would they still rather do the accounts, or would they rather spend time traveling and meeting people and having a great life? So the key is it's trapped is trapped, yeah? So what we do here is we help people own a system with Usana, because Usana's got a proven system. If you follow the system and you take the coaching that we teach you, you will start making money. It's guaranteed. There's a couple of things you need to overcome. One is self-doubt, because the business works. It's proven all over the world. People are financially free with Usana everywhere. And there's so many people in Indonesia, and we've only been here a few months, that are financially free with Usana. Right? Making some serious money. But they didn't do it on their own, they've done it with a team. Because this is about creating a team. So say you do 10 hours a week, right? And you've got 10 people in your organisation doing 10 hours a week. How many hours are you doing? Your business is operating at 100, plus your 10 is 110, right? If you were doing 110 over here, what kind of life would you have? See, this requires your own time. This is leverage income. So if that 10 brings in 10, now you're making what? Right? You're now starting into the thousands, right? So how could you ever do that over here? So this creates freedom, this creates stuff. So the whole world's starting to wake up. That's why network marketing is booming, because people are over here. So when you make cash flow from here and you've got money coming in while you sleep, you buy assets. But your money's been a slave to you rather than you being a slave to money. You need to get your money to be a slave to you, right? So 5% of the population gets 95% of the world's wealth. So, question, do you think this is the right side to be on, or this is the right side to be on? So who agrees it's this side? Put your hand up if you think it's this side. And nobody's putting a hand up. You're not putting your hand up. Do you know why I play this game with me? Don't worry about it. What? 1 + 1 is not 3. I'm joking. Right, do you agree that's a right? Yeah, it's logical, right? I'm just messing with you. But the key is, it's logical, right? Yeah? So let's have a look. Linear income, right? The traditional job that trades time for money, or leverage income, right? Build your own organisation of independent business builders. Be compensated for what you sell and what your team sell. So if you've got the #1 supplement in the world, would you have to convince people? If you get heaps of evidence to show them that this is the best, would you have to push people? It's actually quite logical. So when you put the products together with what we're doing, this is not a hard sell. Because when you show people there's 1,000 elite athletes, the Dr. Albert Einstein Award, it was founded by a scientist, it's $148 a share in the New York Stock Exchange. Yeah? It's on the Dr. Oz show every week. He's talking to 12 million people. When you start looking at all you don't need to push it. So the word sell usually creates fear in people because they think selling is not as bad. How many people think selling is like a horrible word? Yeah? But see, that's an illusion. How many times did you sell your parents to get another cookie? Yeah? We sell all the time. And somebody says to me, I can't sell. They're selling me that they can't sell. Selling is part of sharing. Now, if you've got something ethical that makes a difference in somebody's life, are you sharing a gift or are you taking advantage of somebody? It's just a context. If you're giving somebody a gift, you won't be, oh, I need to get this person, would you? So which way do you want to go? We come to a place in our life and we go left, stay this way, or go that way. It's just a choice, yeah? So there's 6 different ways to generate income in USANA. So the first one is retail, where you can buy the products at wholesale and you can sell it for retail, right? The other one is weekly commissions, where you can earn up to 20% back on the whole team, yeah? So in this business, when you join a business, you get a business center. It's like a team, right? And in that team, what you do is you build the business. So you introduce the products to somebody, and they then take a spot in your business. The person who invited you also invites people to the business. When they invite somebody in and they join, do you know where they put them? They put them underneath your business, right? So you need to talk to the person that brought you along tonight and look at the compensation plan and why USANA compensation plan is so unique in the marketplace. Because we have a binary system, and it teaches you to create teamwork where it's not just the person you put in, it's the person who invited you. They put people underneath you as well, and you work because you have to go down the line. Most network companies you go wide, which creates competition and paranoia and jealousy. Our compensation plan goes down, and it creates teamwork and depth. Would you rather be in a company where everybody's got each other's back, or would you rather be in a company where everybody doesn't trust each other? Yeah? So, talk to the other people. Have you ever trained somebody in a company and got paid for it? You train somebody, what do? They take your intellectual property, and then they end up using it against you and try and steal your job. Yes? And here, if you train somebody, you get 15%. USANA will give you 15% of their income as a bonus for training people. But you don't train them on your own, we teach you how to do that. And then you get incentive programs, right? Different leadership bonuses. So the person that brought you along tonight can go through that. So here's a compensation plan here, right? So we're running out of time. So the person who brought you here tonight will go through that with you, yeah? So here's some of the income, right? So Diamond Director, so that's Raman, right? Do you want some of his income? Hey, Raman, you need to take everybody to Starbucks. But look at that, right? Amazing income, right? So me and Regina, we're gold directors, headed to Ruby, right? Not yet, but we're getting there. But the key is, I want somebody to talk to you, right? Because you can see who's this bully coming from another country telling me about my business. I want somebody to come up here who's actually done it in Indonesia, right? A 20-year-old woman, right? Who's a gold director.
Half my age.
And guess what? It took me 2.5 years to get there. She did it in 4 months, and I'm like, so welcome back.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Hi. So you may not be able to tell, but growing up, I've always had low self-esteem because of bullying. The one thing I always wanted was a warm and loving family, which I didn't have at home. So at the age of 18, I met someone, I fell in love, and we got married. So at the age of, by the time I was 19, I had my first child. I had my child. So I thought I had everything I wanted in life. I had a beautiful, loving family, and we moved to a beautiful country in Italy, and I had everything I always wanted. So I was pretty happy. I was very happy, and but everything changes when the abuse started. At first, it was just words, and I put up with it. But it became worse and worse and worse. So it became worse, and I didn't know what to do. The man that I thought I knew and fell in love with disappeared, and in his place stood a monster that tormented me physically, mentally, and emotionally. I didn't know what to do at that time, but it became worse and worse. So even though it was hard for me to decide, I decided to go back to Indonesia, and I took my daughter and came back. I was when I came back, I was lost. I didn't know what to do. I was deeply depressed. I felt like who could ever have ever loved me again? I felt like all my dreams were crushed. I had no future, and I was as good as a damaged good. And so shortly after that, my mom decided to invite me to an event. She invited me to what happened to be a Usana Grand Celebration. I didn't want to go at first, but she kind of forced me to it. So I went anyway. But when I went there, I was like, okay, we'll just see it because my mom forced me to go. And I just had in the back of my mind that it was just a very negative thing for me, and I didn't really like it. So I went there and I saw something I saw something that's very different. I saw, I saw, I saw a family there. I met with my team, and I saw something that I've always wanted all my life. Even though they were strangers, they welcomed me with love and caring and openness. I also got to see a lot of art leaders, amazing leaders just like William and Raman share their story on the stage and how the amazing life they've created through Usana. And I felt like, why not give this a try? I had nothing to lose and had everything to gain. And so in the course of 4 months, me and my team and my amazing mentor Raman made my business grew to a the rank of a gold director. I was very happy at the time because I finally found something that I could finally do. Sana not only gave me back my dreams, it gave me back my future, and most of all, it gave me back my sense of self-worth. And so I just want everybody to know that if you're just looking for a chance, or you're just looking for something different in your life, just know that Usana can give it to you just like it have given it to me. And I hope to welcome you to our Usana family in Indonesia.
So that's, see how you get a sense, right? This business changes people's lives in every different one. Confidence, public speaking, growth, leadership, financial freedom, single parent, taking more secure with her daughter because she's got an income that takes care of her. And think about that, this is US dollars. That's no little money. But you might join the business and you might start up and you'll make $100. What if you made $100 a week part-time? Would that change most people's life? Just part-time, right? And then it becomes 200 and it starts changing. Now what happens if you get to $100 or $200 a week part-time building this business? You could fire your boss and then build it full-time if you wanted to. I'm not saying give up your career. You might be passionate about what you're doing, but the key is the choice is yours. The choice becomes yours. It's not I have to do this, because when you've got enough money coming in, you don't have to do anything. You can choose what you want to do. So the power becomes yours. So how does it work? So you start, right? There's two different models. There's a one business centre and a three business centre. For a one business, you're talking about, it's 110,000 rupees to buy a license for your son. That's, I think it's about $11 or something, $12, right? That gives you a license to trade in 20 countries. So when you start open up another country, you've got the license automatically, the shipping's done, the RD, everything's already set up with that government. You don't need to do any of that. All that stuff's already done for you. You just need to share the business, and then your business will grow in different countries. So to activate a business, I think it's between 4.8 million, right? There's another one at 7.3, and then there's one at 12.4 million. And what you get in every one of them, you also get 2 websites all set up for you, right? So you get an internal and an external website. An internal website is like a hub. You've got videos, you've got training for yourself. You can see as your business is growing where the points are coming from, where they're coming. It gives you all these rundown stats, right? And then you get an external website, and on that external website, you customize it to suit. You put your photos on there. You've got a shopping cart, right? You've also got a Dr. Oz video embedded. So do you think when you join this business, you might feel, well, maybe I don't have enough credibility. But if Dr. Oz is on your website telling people how amazing your son is, do you think that gives you credibility? Yeah? If there's 1,000 athletes in the country, do you think that gives you credibility? But you don't need credibility from where you are. We will provide the credibility for you. And then one of the things is, if you say you send your website to say Medan or anywhere in Indonesia or the world, and somebody purchases on your website, you get paid the commission straight into your bank account, but you weren't even there. Yeah. So the website's already set up. So who do you know could set up a multi-country business, right, for 4.8 million? It just doesn't happen, right? So this is why there's no big risk, but it's affordable for people. So obviously you have to share your SANA, right? And you earn weekly commissions. So you need to also look at, who do you know? How many people do you know who would like to make more money? Yeah. How many people do you know who want to get healthy? How many people do you know who want to be free? So we're surrounded by people for the rest of your life. Yeah? And then you get something that you can share. And the biggest one is this one. Yeah? If you let us teach you, right, and you've got the willingness, you can change your circumstances. But it's all about willingness. Willingness is the key thing. How many people believe they're a stubborn person? Who's a stubborn person in here? You're that stubborn you won't put your hand up. I'm only joking. But the key is, we've all got this stubbornness, right? Don't tell me what to do. We're not going to tell you what to do. We're just going to advise you that we became financially free because we did this. Hey, you do this with this and we'll help you do it. You don't have to do it on your own. Yeah? So it's scary. Now, how many people look at this and go, oh, uncomfortable? So try this. Everybody fold their arms. Some of you already fold. It's cold. Your condition's not very good. So you fold your arms, right? So try it. Fold them. Right. Now fold them the opposite way. Now is that weird and uncomfortable? Yeah, that is right. So anything you do is always weird and uncomfortable. But if you were to do this for 30 days, do you think you would get more comfortable doing it? Yes. And it would just become normal? It's a bit like Raman was saying earlier. You normalise things. He was just normally just a fat kid with a runny nose, and that was normal. That's how I'd say that. I'm just using his words. That was normal for him until he got healthy, and then he realised, wow, I thought that was normal. This is better, right? And then he's got a new normal. So when I started this business, I'm a flooring specialist. The last thing I thought about, how am I going to teach anybody about nutrition? I'm 103 kgs, I'm just about to have diabetes, and I'm going to tell somebody about their health. I'm going to go, you talking about? But I didn't need to have the credibility, because while I was taking on my health, I was going to seminars, I was learning, there was nutritionists, I could bring people, the nutritionists would talk to them. I didn't need to put myself under pressure. I'd just be honest, and then I'd shape my team would help me. So you don't need to have it all figured out, but you need to take a step into the unknown, because if you try and figure it out, how can you guarantee success in anything in life unless you take a step? The only thing that's guaranteed is if you take a step, something's going to change. But what happens if you do nothing? How can anything change if we just do nothing? Yeah? So this is just some of the successful people in the business, just ordinary people changing their lives. Right? So we have lots of resources and a lot of amazing team. Like if you have a problem, the call centre is always there. You've always got heaps of help and resources from people. So we get different, see this is the hub, right? We have different communication tools and how to grow your business, conventions. Who likes to travel? Right? Singapore, we have an event in Singapore coming up. Is it April, isn't it? Yeah. It's absolutely amazing. We were there last year. It was the first time Usana was at this event, and we had heaps of people there. And you get to travel, right? And while you're traveling, you're making money. Would you like the sound of that?
Yes.
So here's some of your team. Bali, America is Nathan. You can see Mara, right? Now, this is New Zealand. This was the event that Catherine joined, the business. Right? This is in the Pullman Hotel, Central Park. This woman here, her name's Wee Wee. That was when she first came and seen the business, right? She had 4 autoimmune diseases, and she'd had 4 strokes, and she couldn't walk. Now, a few weeks ago, she was on a pair of rollerblades for the first time in years. This business, these products have transformed her health. And do you know also? She's got a Usana business where, because she couldn't go to work, she works from home, and all her autoimmune disease friends are all now transforming their health because she's now the person inside that community helping everybody understand their health. She phoned me up today all excited. She's now getting a whole new diet plan, her health's increasing, her energy's through the roof. That woman's lost heaps of weight, and her hope for her life is through the roof. It's amazing when we seen her, the way she is now. She was felt hopeless, and now she's got her life back. And then she's skilled. And now this woman's a leader in her community helping other people. And now she's got confidence. She stands up here and does public speaking. Before it was like, there's no way she was getting it. Her self-esteem was so low. So it's phenomenal what it does to people's lives. This is me, my wife, and some of her friends in New Zealand. My little baby. Just having fun, just ordinary people changing lives. This is us when we came here. So this man here, and this woman here, the #1 incumbent in the whole world. And they came here, right, they flew here to train us. But he doesn't need the money, but he still came to support our team. Because we're a family. And it's just amazing, these people. And then this woman here, she's coming here next week, and they're going to be doing a big seminar. So put in your diary the 22nd of October. There's a top nutritionist coming from New Zealand with this woman, and also Gold Director Klein. They're going to be doing it's called a Super Success Saturday. It's going to teach you about your health, business, different things, and it's going to be an absolutely amazing day. So put that in your diary and bring your friends. It'll make such a difference. And guess what? It's free. Free is good. But so this is us in Singapore. Yeah. So this is the general manager, and then David Mullins, his mentor. He runs the whole of Asia Pacific and Europe. The #1 incumbents, and our amazing friends, and we're just one big family. So you get a lot of training and support. We could never have done what we've done with these people, Nathan and our team. The difference we all work together. But do you know the thing I love about this business? When you come into a business like this, you've all got a certain talent, right? Skills. But you can't build it on your own because your skill can only do so much. But when you've got skills, you've got skills, and you've got skills, and you've got skills, and everybody works together, you put all that talent together, what do? You create a winning team. We can't be successful on our own. Now imagine being in a marriage and you want to be successful on your own. One person's at this side of the bed, another one's at that side of the bed. It's not going to work very well, right? No matter what it is as a team, you have to work together. Families work together. So you're going to find yourself in a couple of spaces, right? Interested but need for more information. Or look, this is for me. I feel that this can make a difference in my life. So make sure you talk to the person later on. Tell them if you're this one or if you're this one. And have a great night. And I hope you got a lot of value from that. Alright, cheers.